farmer, chock full of stories and advice from their area of agriculture. They're interesting, educational, and perfect for your busy schedule. Search for 15 Minutes with a Farmer wherever you download your podcasts.
Hey, Jim. Bob. Quite a season, huh?
Yeah, there was a lot stacked against us, but that's where having a solid plan and, data-driven insights instead of just guessing really made the difference.
Yeah.
We looked at soil types and other research to make sure every acre had the right seed to maximize ROI potential.
That's great. I was referring to the Greyhounds being undefeated.
Oh.
Cropland Seed. Anything but typical.
Every year, we hear stories of how somebody was injured or killed from a tractor rollover. These things happen in a split second, giving the rider no time to think and react. You can't always prevent an overturn, but your chance of survival is almost guaranteed if there is a rollover protection system on the tractor and you're buckled in. Chuck Schwab is an extension safety specialist at Iowa State University. He says tractors have a high center of gravity, which makes it easy for them to overturn, especially on a slope. The safest way to maneuver a slope is to back up the hill and drive down rather than driving across it. Unexpected things like depressions from soil erosion can catch you by surprise.
And so what happens is you're on a slope that's steep, and then one of your tires go into that rail, and that causes the slope to be more steep at that one instant. Then the tractor has started the shift towards rolling, and then it just continues.
Rear overturns are most often caused by hitching outside of or higher than the tow bar.
If your back wheels of the tractor get good traction and they don't move, and whatever you're towing isn't going to budge, if the wheel doesn't spin and there's power to it, there's enough power in most tractors that will take and lift the entire tractor and throw it backwards.
Keep your speed down because it's easier to correct a hazardous situation if you're going slow. If the tractor starts to feel unstable and you're driving like you're in the Indy 500, it might roll before you can do anything about it. Learn more about preventing tractor overturns at livingthecountrylife.com. I'll see you in the country.
Living the Country Life. Ideas and inspiration for your place in the country. You can find more information on today's topic, share your tips, and post photos by visiting us online at livingthecountrylife.com.
Today's Daily Encouragement by William the Encourager, sponsored by Ted Russell Nissan, home of the lifetime warranty on Kingston Pike.
Praise ye the Lord, brothers and sisters. This is William the Encourager. And I just want to thank God this morning. Let's pray. Father God, thank you for this word that you've given, Lord, to give to your people, to encourage those that feel like, Lord, they are nothing. Now I pray blessings upon this word. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen. Good morning, my brothers and sisters. This message is for those that the world has left feeling unloved, not enough, discouraged, and just in total despair. But I want you to know that greater is he that is in us than he that is in the world. I want to share this story with you real quick, and it's called The Old Crack Pot. A water barrier in India had two large pots, each hung on each end of the pole which he carried across his neck. One of the pots had a crack in it, and while the other pot was perfect and always delivered a full portion of water to the end of the long walk from the stream to his master's house, the cracked pot always only a half-full pot. For a full 2 years, this went on daily, with the barrier delivering only one half of the pots full of water to his master's house. Of course, the perfect pot was proud of its accomplishments, perfect to the end of which it was made, but the poor cracked pot was ashamed of its own imperfections, and miserably that it was able to accomplish only half of what it was made to do. After 2 years of what it perceived to be a bitter failure, it spoke to the water barrier one day by the stream, and it said, "I am ashamed of myself, for I want to apologize to you." "Why?" asked the barrier. "What are you ashamed of?" "I have been able only to deliver only half the water that I should have been delivering in these past 2 years because my side had a crack in it and water leaked out on the way back to your master's house. Because of my flaws, you have always only been able to get half of the water that I can hold because of this crack. The water barrier felt sorry for the old crackpot, and in his compassion, he said, as I return to the master's house, I want you to notice the beautiful flowers along the path. Indeed, as they were going back up the hill, the old crackpot took notice of the sun warming the beautiful flowers on the side of the path, and this cheered it somewhat. But at the end of the trail, it still felt bad because it had leaked out half its load. And so, again, it apologized to the water barrier. The water barrier said to the pot, did you notice that there were flowers only on your side of the path, but not on the other pot's side? That's because I have always known of your flaws, and I took advantage of it. I planted seeds on your side of the path. And every day while we walk back to the stream, you've watered them. For 2 years, I have been able to pick these beautiful flowers to decorate my master's table with. Because you have always been who you are, he wouldn't have had these beautiful flowers in his house. So the moral of this story is, brothers and sisters, we might appear to be crackpots to the world, but God tells us that we are fearfully and wonderfully made. Every one of us, even with our flaws, it may look like we are not a success, but now in our Father's eyes, we are beautiful. So even in your imperfection, look to the Lord, your help, and he will show you how beautifully and wonderfully made that you are, and you are of great importance. So remember, there's a way out of your mess, and it's JESUS.
Where can you buy a brand new Nissan with a lifetime warranty? Kingston Pike. Hey, folks, Gerald Anderson with Ted Russell Nissan. You heard it right. Every new Ted Russell Nissan comes with a lifetime warranty, and that's a long, long time. Ted Russell Nissan on Kingston Pike.
Good morning and welcome to AM 1380 WYSH and Ask Your Neighbor. Ask Your Neighbor can also be heard and seen on our website, WYSHradio.com. And if you are in Anderson, Rome, or Morgan County and have Comcast cable, you can watch Ask Your Neighbor on BBB TV Channel 12. Ask Your Neighbor is the program where you call in and do just that. Ask Your Neighbor. Do you have a comment? Do you have a problem? Or do you have a question? Then call in and ask your neighbor. 865-457-1380 or toll free at 877-711-4005. And for those of you that might be listening or watching on the internet, you can email from our website, WYSHradio.com. Just click on the Contact Us button and email your questions. Now sit back and listen as listeners throughout East Tennessee and the entire world answer your questions on Ask Your Neighbor on BBB TV 12 and AM 1380 WYSH.
It is Tuesday. No, it's not. Good Lord.
Oh, it's Tuesday. We're fast.
Yeah, boy,
I'm on the wrong date.
Nope, it's Monday. It's the third Monday of the month. It's Queener's Corner. David Queener, my buddy and pal, longtime public servant. Still a public servant, really.
I guess, man.
What, 400 years as a police officer?
I was there for a long time.
And now, then a couple stints as a school board member. Now pulling the weight as city councilman. How are you, Dave?
Doing pretty good. Good. Doing real
You look good.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it. It's a life's been a struggle here recently for me, and I appreciate it. Appreciate everybody said a prayer for me. I'm needing them, and
we all do.
Life is as you get older, life gets a little tougher.
Changes, doesn't it?
It changes a whole lot. So
that bulletproof stuff, I wonder where that is nowadays.
It's gone, buddy. It's gone. But I'm glad. I get asked all the time, how you doing today? And I said, I'm up. I got up this morning. So I'm on this side of the grass. So we keep on chugging and just keep on doing what we've done all of our life. My whole nut life's been dedicated to the city of Clinton, and I really have enjoyed. I say sometimes I get upset like everybody else, but I've enjoyed what I've done. I wouldn't. Heck, Ron, I
wouldn't rework it for love nor money.
I wouldn't change nothing in the world. I didn't make no money doing it. I didn't get rich by staying down there all those years as a police officer. I just made a living, and I raised my family here in Clinton. And I'm proud of Clinton. I'm proud of what we've done.
Yeah.
What we're doing, and probably what we're gonna do.
Yeah.
So I just think people just need to hold on and be tough. And let me start by saying this. I know Market Street is a mess right now. Okay?
Yeah,
I know it's a mess. But I rode through there this morning, and I said, wow, new concrete. I could see some new concrete sidewalks in certain places. Mm-hmm. So I know we're moving right along. Let me just say something to the merchants downtown Clinton. Y'all are tough people. Hang in there. You're doing a good job of hanging in there, and you're tough, and y'all are gonna come out the other side of this just fine, and everybody's gonna be good. Just hang in there, be tough.
The Fall Festival, they had a number of vendors and a number of stores report record sales.
Well, I was told, and I don't know if this is true or not. Somebody probably from down there could call, or we'll hear about it maybe at this council meeting. I might hear about it. I was told that the setup we had this time, how they set it up,
worked better.
The people loved it.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that's true or not. So we'll find out. But those people were tough down on Market Street, and they've hung in there. And it has been tough for them. My God, all you got to do is go down there and look.
Yeah.
And you could say, wow.
I came across the bridge over Market Street yesterday, and just happened to glance over, and I hadn't really looked at it close because I've had it blocked off. I've been going around it, and I usually go around behind it, back by the elementary school, that way. But I was coming around the other way, going home, and I looked over, and I was like, holy cow, I just didn't realize the construction.
I think when we get all the sidewalks put back and all the other stuff done and all the streets paved,
it's
everything,
awesome.
it's going to be nice down there. And my hat just goes off to the people that's got businesses down there. And if you're an antiquer, Clinton is open. Mm-hmm. You might have to go around to the back door or work your way around a barricade to get in their front door. But they've got front door entered. They still can go through the front door. So get down there and shop down there. Just a small plug from me saying how tough they are, and they have fought through part of this. We ain't going to give up. We're going to keep on fighting. And we're gonna do downtown Clinton just the way some people wanted it done. And I think it'll be something to be proud of when it's all said and done.
Sure.
Let's get it done first and see the done product, and then it'll be all right.
And then when we finish Market, do we move out onto Main?
We're done out on Main a little bit.
I know we are right now because it's blocked.
We're just back inside of Hoskins right now.
Yep, I know.
So we're moving right along. We've had some really good weather, and I think I hadn't asked Roger this, and I will. I think we might be ahead of schedule just a little bit. So if we can get on done and get it done earlier, I'm all for that too. But, I think we'll be moving on through Hoskins, but they've already done part of that far end down there on Broad Street. They've already done from over to the boulevard, done some stuff. So we might finish that first phase up. I think that second phase goes on up past the old Ford store and all up through there. That's on down the road a little bit. That's not right now. So we'll get this first phase done, get all this first phase completed, and get everybody calmed down a little bit.
And then start again.
And the roads are, yes, I drove through there this morning, and I know I drive a truck. It's a little rough, but you just take your time. You don't have to go through there 75 miles an hour. Take your time and dodge some of the holes. And, man, there's got to be a little pain for progress. You just don't snap your fingers and everything's just hunky-dory. And we've done, I just think, between the merchants and the city and everybody, I think we've done a good job of getting it done. And I think it's going to be nice when it's done, and it'll be something that everybody, I think it'll draw people in.
Sure it will. Absolutely.
That's what we want, to draw people in. And we got some new businesses that are working on their businesses right now to I think they're planning on maybe opening up about the same time that this project's done. It's going to be some restaurants. It's going to be some different things. So I think Market Street's fixing to be what I think you said 2009 a while ago. It was a conversation, the date you used.
Exactly.
So I think in 2009, this was a vision.
I've still got the booklet, the mayor's vision, the 21st century.
So in 2009, this was a vision.
Yeah. Now
in 2025 and 26, it's going to become sort of a reality.
Sure it is.
And it's going to be, I said earlier, better late than never. We're going to get it. And I never did think that. I always doubted some of the things about down there, but I can see it today a little bit. I can see the picture a little bit better today.
Well, it downtown has had such a unique personality. For one, you remember, just like I do in the 90s, it was nothing more than hammers and storage and the barber shop and Ace Hardware. I mean, there's very few things down there. And then, I don't know, then when it morphed into all antiques, I know some folks in the city were talking about they do a whole lot of cash. It just didn't seem like everything gelled together with the merchants and the city. And then we had two different merchants associations down there for a long time that went back and forth. I think when Catherine Burbeck and some of those other people got involved and started bringing everybody together, it's helped a whole lot. So downtown has had a number of different looks and personalities, but far and away, what's going on down there right now is the most progress I've seen since I've been back.
Here's a good sign. You got hammocks.
Yes.
They've invested in downtown, and it's tore up right now.
Yep.
You got Brian Hatmaker. He's working on his thing down in the flat down there at the old Hammers building.
Gotcha.
The one that used to have the basement. He's working right there right now. That's where he's supposed to be going. There's couple other little restaurant donut shops or whatever they are, pastry shops that's invested for downtown during the construction.
Yeah.
Chunky Monkey, the ice cream place off the freeway up here, moved to Market Street.
Yeah.
So they've invested in coming downtown in Clinton. So that's just some things that's come, and it's tore up.
Sure.
What's going to happen when you can roll up and down the sidewalk and walk up and down the sidewalk and there's a building open? Somebody will come and invest in it, and there'll be something else come in. And I just think Market Street's like a tight shirt and you need a new shirt. Buttons, you know what I mean? The buttons are fixing to pop off the shirt, man. And the buttons are going to pop off the shirt, and you're going to have to go to Hammers to get you another shirt.
That's it.
And you're going to have to go up Hammers to get you another shirt and put it on because the buttons are waiting to pop. And I think that's I just think Market Street's, the potential for Market Street is there.
Oh, yeah.
And it's just, we just got to take advantage of it.
I think Greenville kind of had a renaissance in their downtown a while back and revitalized their downtown. And I've noticed they've got that, is it called the Nishwanger Auditorium up there? But they bring in a lot of acts and a lot of things to their downtown area to bring people up there. And I can see, as our downtown starts to get on its feet and get back, a lot of events going on down there because it's going to be really nice. Really nice.
My big thing at the first of the year that I'm going to really try to do, working on my last year on the council there, is coming up on my fourth year. I'm going to really try to see if we can't get some shakers and bakers moving on the Magnet Mill site.
I hope
I want us to step up a little bit at the city, and let's try to help. We're not in the real estate business, and it's not ours. Maybe we can help somehow. Maybe there's something we can do to try to get somebody interested in buying it.
We've got some folks that are interested.
Well, we need those people to come to. Let's get all the players.
Okay.
Let's get all the players at the table. Let's get all the players sitting at the table, and let's as we come in, let's get us a guard and put us a guard on the other side of the door and not leave until we come to some mutual agreements that let's get some people on the table and let's see if we can't get somebody. I don't know who, and I don't know who the players are,
Well, I know Joe. I know Joe wanted it.
I just want us to get. I just want us. Let's see if we can. Let's see if we can assist. Just assist.
Sure.
Help the person that help them. And sometimes people don't want help, and all you can do is offer.
Sure.
It's sort of like Ingalls. All we can do is offer.
Sure.
There's been plenty of people been sent to Ingalls and they've got rejected and sent back.
Mm-hmm.
That they don't want to sell, they don't want to rent, they don't want to do nothing. And I don't understand why, but maybe they got more money than they know what to do with. Man, that'd be great to be a position to be in.
Could you imagine owning that piece of property down there right now?
Sitting on the gold mine.
Yeah.
But anyway,
absolutely.
I want to really, let's see if we can't get some people to, let's see if we can't get some of the players at the table, and let's just, nothing else, talk about it and see how far off are we, how far, between talk to the guy that's trying to sell it, if they'll give us any information. They might tell us to go fly off the bridge.
Yeah.
And that's okay, too, if they do. At least then I can come up here and look you in the face and say, hey, we tried to get all the players together, and X didn't want to get together. Blaming on X owns the property, so they've got to be the ones to do it.
I'll look later today and see if I can find it. But there was a point in time when Roger came in as city manager, and after he'd been there a while, he called me, and he said, I've got all this stuff from the mayor's 21st century walk to the 21st century mayor's commission. And he said, do you want it? And he gave it to me. So I've got all kinds of information. I don't think I've got any of the people that were interested in Magnet Mills. But, we entertained the bottling company down in Chattanooga. They came up at one point and were interested in doing something, making a retail / condo / restaurant / Coca-Cola museum. I mean, there's been quite a few people that have shown interest, but the price was so astronomical. I mean, it ran off even people like that got enough money they can buy whatever they want. So, and I don't know do you know who's the mouthpiece for the property? Because back in the day, that was the problem. It wasn't necessarily the owner, it was the mouthpiece.
I don't know if that guy is still the mouthpiece or not. I think it'd be, as they say, let's get the hook wet and find out. I could be very disappointed, after you try to do something, try to help somebody out, and they don't want to help themselves out. I don't know what the figure. I don't even know what they're asking for the piece of property. I don't know what it's valued at. I have heard different figures that it's valued at this. I've heard it's valued at that. And it's all over the board.
Well, our mayor is a realtor. He ought to be able to look at it and give a legitimate cost analysis of it.
Well, I just like us to sit down. Let's just see if we can't get some. Let's just see if we can't get what the temperature is. Yeah. Have we had any bites? Is there anything as far as the city? Is there anything the city can do to help maybe push the sale on over the line? Is there something that we could do? I'm not much on giving tax relief or anything like that. If we had to do a little something, maybe we could.
Sure.
There's some things maybe we could do to help along, but I don't.
There's public-private partnerships are good, but if you offer something to somebody, there'll be a day that somebody else will want it. So as long as it's something the city can afford, and something we can do,
something we could do. I'm not for us mortgaging the barn.
No.
To get somebody to buy the piece of property and
sure.
giving away taxes for 40 years that so far down the road that we'll never recover from it. But I am for us looking, maybe it's just we help. I don't know. A sidewalk, we pave a little bit or
whatever
something.
We can do.
Just something, whatever we can do, maybe to get this thing pushed across the speed hump. And let's see if we can't. And then we still got a gold mine sitting at the interstate.
Absolutely.
There's some property up there that's still available that would be great places for everything that everybody would call in here today and say Chick-fil-A or whoever. And I do know people that are actively trying to do Chick-fil-A stuff
Good deal.
Right now at this time, trying to see if they can't get them to do they've asked to see if they can't get them to do another, I don't know if it's
an analysis
or a study or traffic count or whatever they do they determine it off one of those. I don't know which one it is.
Yeah.
But I'm willing to take my part, my time, and even get involved in that a little bit if it would help.
Sure.
And I don't know that it would help because I know nothing about. I'm not no real estate guy.
Well, it always helps. Anytime.
I'm just willing to. I've got just a big enough mouth to go back and say, hey, let's go sit down and talk to these people up here, and let's send a team up here. Let's take some people up here, and we've got some talented people at the city, and then we've got some talented people on city council that we ought to be able to put together, and we got some talented people in Clinton that we ought to be able to put together some things and maybe try to help. What if we did? What if we got a Chick-fil-A at the interstate? What would happen then?
Oh, that'd be fantastic.
I mean, you think it would even explode even more?
Absolutely it would. And the tax revenue, I mean, it would increase our tax base in the city.
I mean,
substantial. Well, do we make taxes off fast food?
Yeah, there's probably property taxes. We probably we do get there's taxes off. I'm sure we do.
Okay.
But anyway, I'm just saying it would be, that's something people's wanted forever, and boy, it really, they talk about putting a feather in a man's cap to get a Chick-fil-A.
There you go.
My God, they'd have to name the street going in, David Queener Way to Chick-fil-A.
You get to Chick-fil-A, and I'll make the motion for the street.
Yeah, make the motion.
I don't know if they'll listen to me or not.
Yeah, they ain't gonna listen to me neither. So it doesn't really matter. But I just been thinking about some of this stuff. Could we? What if all it need? What if somebody's just waiting on? Man, I wish the city would step up just a little bit.
Well, look. Okay, the city didn't really do anything with the Darty building, but we supported it. We didn't. I don't even think we changed any ordinances. We might have had to make an adjustment to something. I think there was one thing.
But anything, we probably made it a little tougher on them to build.
We got
remodel, bring it up to code and all that. So we made it a little tougher, probably.
But look at the. I think that the reason you have people that will take the step, is that they get the cooperation of the local government. They know there's going to be red tape. There always is. Sewer, electricity, all the stuff you have to do to build something. But when you've got the support of the local government, it makes it a lot easier. There was a point in time, Greg Fay's going to call me later, but there was a point in time that we had kind of a reputation of CUB being difficult to deal with. And people would, if it came down to it, and they could do a development in Anderson County, or they do a development in Campbell or Knox, many times they went to Campbell or Knox. I experienced that over and over, and I had conversations with Ernie, I had conversations with Dan, I had conversations with Greg. Ernie and Dan have since retired, but I mean, the perception. I don't think CUB ever worked against any business, but it was perceived that they were difficult to work with. So when it's perceived that they're not, you get the same result, just a different, you know what I mean? The perception was they were hard to work with, so people went elsewhere, as opposed to if the perception was they were easier to work with.
I personally don't think the city of Clinton's hard to work with.
I don't either. I don't either.
Somebody out here right now that could call in and say, well, go for it and wear us out, or wear me out right now over it, and that'd be fine. If there is somebody like that, I'd like to know what the problem is, so we can go and see if we can.
Well, I can tell you a half dozen.
I want us to be friendly, but I also want us to. I don't want us to be putting shacks up and doing things half. That's going to put people's lives in jeopardy. And let's do it the way it's supposed to be done.
Well, I can tell you a half dozen things that I went through, but in 2006, 7, 8, 9, whatever, when I built that property. Working with the city on the road, working with CUB on electric and water. There was a lot of things that couldn't have been done different. You have to do whatever's in regulation to be done, but the approach, you know what I mean, could have been different. I think it's just like you said. If the city of Clinton says, we're open for business, and if we can help, we will. We can't wave a magic wand. I think that carries a lot of weight with it. It really does. I really believe that it does. If the city seems welcoming and not cliquish, and you know what I mean, I don't know. Good luck. I'll be your biggest cheerleader and champion on Magnet Mills, whatever, and Chick-fil-A.
Well, I know you will be.
That's two big things, Dave.
Will be, and I might not get no further than where I'm at right now. I might come back and say, man, that was on deaf ears.
Yeah.
And it very well could be. And I'm a big boy, and if that's the way, if you listen, if you want to sell your property, you should be willing to listen to what somebody's got to offer, and let's make an offer.
Sure. If
you're wanting whatever and somebody makes this offer, then tell them no and counter the offer. Can you counter it? And I honestly think that's the problem. I think the problem has been people's offered something, and then there's been no response countered back. Mm-hmm. It's been, we're stuck on, and I don't know, this figure I'm fixing to throw out here's the figure or not. We want $5 million, and you've offered 2.5. Can we come to 4.8?
Yeah.
Make a counter offer.
Start the conversation anyway.
Let's start the conversation. And that property's been for sale for a long time.
Oh yeah.
So if we're asking $5 million for it, you think maybe we might ought to come off that figure just a little bit?
Like I said, Dave, we've had people that money's not an object. At least 2, maybe 3. That money's not an object. $5 million, they wouldn't see it missing, But they're business people, and they say that leads to a negative return, and I'm not going to buy something that's going to produce a negative return. I'm not going to pay too much money. A person said this to me: I don't care to spend a little more than it's worth, but I'm not going to spend a couple $1 million more than it's worth. There's no way, because I can't recoup it. I won't be able to make that up. And I understand that. So, yeah, they need to come to their senses if they want to do something with it. Time is probably on their side because, the dirt is more expensive.
It has been, and it's, but I just like to see, let's see the players let's see, you know what?
You guys did. You guys pushed them to clean it up.
Maybe there's some new players out here that we don't even know about.
Oh, there probably is.
Maybe there's a new player or two.
Good.
And maybe we do go put a little pressure on Ingalls. Maybe we put some pressure on Ingalls to do some things over there and either get those buildings up to snuff or, maybe we put a little pressure there. Let's try to get to, you don't want to do that, but maybe that's what it takes to get the wheel churning. And let's see if we can't get some things going.
I'll tell you this, Dave.
That's a lot of valuable stuff sitting over there. It's not being utilized right now.
I'll tell you this. You'd have to go back and look, but there are a lot of people, that stepped up back and whenever it was that the city put together the retail task force and the mayor's commission. There are a lot of people that worked toward that I know would step up, and if you guys found something and they could help, they would help. I'm one of them. If there's something, I don't know what I could do, but if there's something I could do, I would help the city of Clinton and the New York Minute on either of those two situations. Ingalls, you talked to Wimp. Wimp talked to Bob Ingalls like me and you are talking right now, and he had Bob Ingalls getting ready to build a brand new super center here until we had a recession of 2008, and then Mr. Ingalls fell ill, and then Mr. Ingalls' sons took it over, and I think there was some kind of controversy in his family about who was going to run what. And
I think there's it's either granddaughter, grandson, or something like that, and they're both 50-50, and
can't make it.
This one don't like this one, and this one over here don't like this, and then there's just the family is split right down the middle, and they've got as much as they've got as much, and
and we're suffering.
And we're suffering from it.
Because it's a prime piece of property. And I don't know, does it have access to the river back? And I know Joe bought the old AutoZone building. He bought that. But is there access to the river over the side? I know you can get to it from behind the AutoZone.
I don't know that there's actually access, but I think you can get to it from there, and probably access could be made fair, I would think, easily. Probably. So
you think about that. You might even be able to have a commercial property right there that has access, to the river. It can't hurt. So it's got to make it a valuable piece of property, and got to make it something that you develop that. And with the Spire Park over there, South Clinton, that's a whole new place then. It is now anyway. It's building up. I've noticed people are cleaning up and fixing up.
Well, we've changed some of our ordinances and stuff about those buildings over there.
Yep.
You got to do some things if they change hands, and got to be, you got to do some.
Bring them up to code.
You got to bring stuff up to code, do some things, and it's for the betterment of it. I think it'll help it out in the long run. We're not going to see it right now. Probably we'll see it as the future goes on with it. As it goes down the road, you'll start to see some things change. But heck, all you got to do is go into every city. I mean, every city's got South Clinton in it. Go to Knoxville. You go out Clinton Highway. You go through South Clinton over in Knoxville. I mean, they got all the the car lots. That's all that is down through there. It's the same thing. That's just the way it used to be.
Sure.
Now we've got to get out of the way it used to be and sort of get it changed a little bit, and I think we're working on that. And
that's a pretty aggressive itinerary for your tenure. Magnet Mills, Chick-fil-A, and Ingles. You just laid out a pretty big plate there, Dave.
And that's within this coming up year. So I'm just gonna touch base and say, hey, when's the last time we called them? Let's call them.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna do that Monday. I'll do that Monday with Roger and say, hey, let's just make a phone call.
Yeah.
Let's just call and see where we're at.
Yeah.
Just to see where we're at. Just to see if is there anything we can do to help you. And maybe they throw some wild idea out that we can't do, but that's all right too. But let's see if we can't. Just what's a phone call? What's 5 minutes of either being told, hey, we ain't got nobody interested in it, and we're not, here's where we're at. Well, what are you asking for your property, if you don't mind me asking?
Yeah.
Can you tell us? So if somebody asks, we can tell them if we get any inquiries, because that's where people's going to call us, wanting to know about the site. If we know what's over there, if it has city services over, is that in the city? Well, definitely it is. Do they get all the city services? They're going to inquire with us anyway on that. So, maybe we do need to know the price. So let's just make a simple inquiry of what's going on. I don't mean that we're out here being the realtor or trying to sell their piece of property, because I don't want to get in that mess. And
no,
I don't want to see us spend a lot of tax dollars on personal property, because I don't think we can anyway. But can we help? If it meant extending the sidewalk 6 feet, could we do that? Well, I think we probably could.
I'll tell you where government would be able to help when this does eventually happen. And I don't know how it stands today, but I know in 6, 7, 8, 9, when we were fooling with it, brownfield was a big issue. Worried about what Magnet Mills had produced there and what was in the ground there. And there's going to have to be some environmental studies done. I think they had to do that when they sold the CVS property. You know what I mean? So some of it we should have. Somebody's got an idea of what's in the ground.
Somebody's got an idea. I'm sure they do.
So that's an area I remember at the time. Congressman at the time, Zach Wamp, was going to try and help, and they were going to try and get a grant for whomever would do it, to try and help study some of that brownfield stuff, or clean up if it needed it. I can't remember, but that might be an issue going forward too. There might be some cleanup needed to do that adds to the expense. I know that when I talked to Joe, that's one thing he said. Now, once you buy it, then you got to have all the tests and stuff done, or either have it done contingent to buy it. Yeah, but even then, you got to fix it if there's a problem. So, well, good luck with that. And like I said, I'm your biggest cheerleader. I'll be right there with you, and I'll help you any way that I can. I think that those 3 things that you named, on top of what's going on downtown, change everything about this town as far as, just give us that much more to do. That if we could develop the Ingles property, there isn't anything. You put a super anything in there. It's got room for whatever you want,
There's been a lot of people inquire about it over there, and they always get told they're met at the door with a no. So
no, thank you. Not for sale.
Not for sale, or not this, or not that. I know a church tried to buy the old Kmart building. They tried to lease it.
Didn't Miss Brown look into it?
She probably did.
I thought
there was a church that tried to buy it and tried to lease it. I think the church was even willing to pay for all the upgrades. They wanted to, because there's plenty of parking there. That's the first thing that draws you to it, is all the parking that's out in front of it. And it's a pretty good sized building on the inside when you actually look at it.
Kmart, yeah.
Kmart is a big building. And, They're just told no. I mean,
That's crazy.
I just can't.
I don't understand
I just can't believe if somebody's wanting to invest in your property and make it better and make it, I don't understand. Man.
Well, I
don't understand the business.
I don't know it, but I can tell you this. I went through circumstances where I was trying to buy a radio station one time, and one of the people involved in it passed away, and his percentage went into probate and estate probate, and it drug it out for forever because of that. And maybe that's what the family's having a fight about. You know what I mean? When Dad passed away.
Maybe it is.
Because I just don't understand the reason for doing absolutely nothing. And I'm just guessing. I don't know.
It makes no sense, does it?
No.
Makes zero.
Especially when you're talking about somebody coming in, renting or leasing it, because you still own it, and all they're doing is improving your property, and you're making money off of it. So I don't understand it.
I don't know.
You see if Roger make that phone call and then let us know.
It must be a huge tax write-off at the end of the year.
Something
has to be. I mean, that's the only thing that I can think of. It's a tax write-off or something, but you just think if a man didn't get, of all those things we've talked about quite a few things. Let's take Chick-fil-A out and say, we're not going to get Chick-fil-A where it's not big enough. Just think, what if somebody did buy the old mill site?
Oh, man.
If it just changed hands and we got some new ownership and they got some ideas floating and then all at once something happened. Or what if Ingalls did decide, hey, we're going to build a new store and we're going to do some other things and we're going to open back up. What would that do? What would that do just for South Clinton?
Oh,
what would that do over there? So,
well, you've heard the same thing over your tenure here. South Clinton, a lot of times feel like that they're forgotten. They do. I think Joe's investment over there is going to prompt a lot of, private investment. But South Clinton, they used to worry that they didn't get the same things that Clinton proper got. I think you bring some stuff out there. Again, they're on the rise. South Clinton is definitely. You go back 15 years. It's a completely different place than it was.
Oh, it's completely different over there,
and much better.
Much better than the way it used to be.
But that would change. That'd be a game changer.
It'd be a game changer right there. It would change. That would change everything. I mean, that would change the whole landscape of what's going on around here. So, it really. And you talk about being exciting. That would be exciting.
Well, I'm making notes. When you come back, I'm gonna ask what the phone call to Ingalls and Magnet Mills said.
You can ask, man. I might not be able to tell you that, but you can ask. I can tell you they said no.
What else is going on inside of the city? I mean,
we just finished up the last phase of the pickleball court.
Okay.
So we've got the pickleball court is ready to go, and you go by there one day and you don't see nobody. Go by the next day and it's completely full. So they go and cut. They got their own schedules of how they do things on the pickleball court.
Sure.
So we got a whole pickleball court down there at Lakefront now. I don't know exactly how many courts we got down there now, but we doubled in size. So we've got that. So we're ready to. Some things people ask for, more pickleball courts. We just had the grand opening on our bowling alley.
Yeah.
Where we refurbished our bowling alley.
That's great.
We got our bowling alley refurbished.
I've not been down there to see it yet.
I didn't get to go. I had a doctor's appointment and I couldn't go. As you know, we got our splash pad pool done. I know we're looking at doing some other things in the parks to get them up to snuff. I would think maybe a little paving's going to happen. Maybe
on the trails.
And the walking trails and stuff like that, they need them. It's been a long time since there's been anything done to those things. So we had done the tennis courts at J.C. Park a few years ago. So, we've got, let's see, how many ball fields we got up there? 1, 2.
At J.C.?
We got 3 at J.C. Park. 4.
Yeah.
We got 4 ball fields at J.C. Park. They're pretty good. They're pretty good little baseball fields. And then the 2 or 3 we've got downtown. So we've got kids playing ball, girls softball.
Yeah.
We've got kids playing everywhere. I'm sure that basketball is getting ready to start up, and we'll have basketball getting ready to go. We'll probably finishing football up. You had Weston up here not long ago, and, he's got football rolling. And so we're moving right along, man. It's just what's going on. I guess the biggest thing right now, the big talk right now, is just Market Street and just what's going on with it.
Well, it's the most noticeable thing.
And it's noticeable.
Down in my neighborhood, the big noticeable thing are the big concrete blocks that they've set in.
I didn't even think nothing about that.
Yeah, they have the red lights coming.
We got the red lights. Red lights is. There's been somebody asking for a red light at Mariners Point ever since Mariners Point was developed.
I agree.
They wanted a red light.
I know.
And guess what?
We got one.
You know how you got it?
How? Somebody retired?
Somebody just made a phone call and said, hey, let's call and ask.
Yeah.
What I just said a while ago.
Yeah.
Let's call and ask. I called Roger and said, let's just call and ask again. And Roger said, this might be a really good time. Because he knew somebody that had just retired that was helping us do some other things and got them on board, and they got it for us.
Yeah.
Just a phone call.
Yeah. Just keeping it top of mind.
How many times, and I don't know this, I'm going to take a guess, how many times have we been told no? 30, 40, 50?
A bunch.
We've been told a bunch. We called this last time and said, do the study, and we got it approved.
It's a squeaky wheel. It's the squeaky wheel scenario.
You just got to stay after it a little bit. And you got, I've always said there's only two things when you're asking for something, there's only two things that can be said, yes or no.
Mm-hmm. One way or the other.
One way or the other, man.
No, forever folks were looking for it, wanting it down there. And like I said, I honestly believe just continuing to make those phone calls.
Well, the first phone calls I got after I got elected was a phone call from, and I'm not going to say who it is, out of Mariners Point was, will you do me a favor? And I thought, uh-oh, I ain't even been in. I don't even think I got sworn in yet. And I said, well, I'll see if I can.
Mm-hmm.
And no, it's simple. Will you check on getting us a traffic signal at Mariners Point? We just check on traffic signal.
Sure.
At Mariners Point. And I said, yeah, we've always been told we don't meet the guidelines traffic count, but I'll check on it. And I did.
Mm-hmm.
And then we had a pretty serious accident down there. Car almost went through the gas station.
Yes.
Got hit and went through the gas station down there. And I don't say that that's the cause that it got us a traffic light, because I don't think it is, but
raised awareness.
We just you just asked.
Sure.
And I know everybody on city council been asking forever. I know the mayor lives down there, and so does Rob Harrell, and they had been asking.
Mm-hmm.
I know they had, because I've heard them asked, and they've talked about it. So you just asked, and then all it took then was us getting on board on city council, and let's just approve it and getting it done, and saying we'll do it.
Mm-hmm. We
don't want the state to do it. We'll do it.
Yeah.
We'll foot the cost.
Exactly.
We'll foot the cost. We'll do it. And it's a big cost.
Yeah.
It is. But we'll foot the cost for our taxpayers down there. And that's what we done. We footed the cost because the taxpayers down there warned it.
Yep.
So that's all it took was just being persistent and asking. And it took 25. I don't know how long Mariners Point's been a kicking and shaking, but it's been a while.
Since the late 80s. And I remember coming back visiting from Phoenix and driving down and looking at it when it was first, first getting up and going. So in the 80s. So it's been there a while.
I remember when the first two houses were built as model houses or whatever you want to call them to look at. That was supposed to be the design sort of what was going on. And I remember when the first two were built, and I remember when that people that did that sort of went out.
Yeah.
And we worked security down there for a little while. It sort of went and, I don't know what happened. It went and if they filed bankruptcy or something, and then, man, it's like I went from working shift work to being a guy that worked all the time instead of just working 8 hours a day. I was working 24 hours a day, it seemed like, as a detective. And I just went through there one day I was going to somebody's house down there, or going to meet somebody, and I'm thinking, where'd all these houses come from? And all at once, there's houses everywhere.
Oh, yeah.
You go and have one or two.
That's about 94, 93, 94.
You got 15 or 20. And then the next thing you know, there's not very many lots left, and people are it's building pretty fast. And I don't know if there's any lots left today or not. If they are, there's not many.
There's not many.
There's one or two, maybe.
On the water, I don't think there is.
I don't think there's any on the water, is there? But anyway, it's snap of a finger, and it really went. So, but people's been asking for a traffic signal down there, and we've we got the traffic signal, and we just keep ticking.
Are we doing something to the over at the dog park area right now? Is there something? Are we adding to that area? Didn't we get some?
We have applied for some stuff. We got some property that was gift to us.
Yeah.
Kathy Brown gave us some property.
Yeah.
And we put some plans out to do some things to expand the golf frisbee golf course and the walking stuff. And we've applied for some grants to help with that.
Yeah.
To push that project going out and do some development in that. But that's probably next year you might see some headway on some of it.
Okay.
But we do have some property over there that we've been given, and I can't remember the acreage that we've got over there, but it's quite a bit.
Yeah.
And it will really, and you know, let's talk about the dog park. Man, we got one of the best dog parks in East Tennessee.
We do.
I don't give a dang what anybody says.
Yeah.
You know, I had a guy that I had a business owner right here in Clinton come up to me and say, "Hey, I live in Knoxville, and your dog park's 10 times better than what dog park I've got in Knoxville."
Oh yeah. No, I've heard over and over.
We don't charge. It's like pickleball.
Yeah, we don't.
Some places on the pickleball courts, at some places, you got to call and get a time and then pay a deposit to rent it. You got to rent the pickleball court. Well, we don't charge none of that. That's all free. That's all free. And we don't care who plays on it. Just don't tear it up and destroy it.
Sure.
Just come down and enjoy it.
Yeah.
But there's places right here charging for people to play pickleball. We're not charging people to play pickleball.
No.
We want you to come and have a good time.
Well, there's a lot of very positive stuff that's happening in the city of Clinton. We're lucky, but really it's the culmination of a lot of work over a lot of time and a slow moving juncture too.
What I'm actually doing today, Ron, is I'm kicking my 26th campaign off for city council for re-election.
I was getting ready to say, it sounds like that we're campaigning here. Okay?
I'm not campaigning today, and I will not campaign until it comes time to do it. But that's what I'm doing. I'm actually kicking it off. So.
Well, we've got your agenda: Magnet Mills, Chick-fil-A, Ingles.
Hold me accountable to that stuff. I don't mind being held accountable. I'm a guy that, I'm pretty straight.
Well, I agree.
I'm pretty straight.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you sometimes whether you want to hear it or not.
Yeah.
If you don't like it.
I know.
You know.
I do.
And if you don't like it, you don't like it.
Mm-hmm.
But you at least know where you stand with me as far as if it's a stupid idea, it's a stupid idea.
Yeah.
And that's just how I feel about it. But I don't think there's one of my constituents that's called me in the last 3 years can say that, first of all, I'm not listening to them. Second of all, I've went and tried to get done what they wanted to get done, and I've worked hard for them.
I don't think that there's anything in the city of Clinton outside of future development that people would point to that they would say this needs to be done outside of what you've named. Magnet Mills, the Ingles property, we'll just say restaurants, Chick-fil-A or whatever. And so outside of that, that's what you hear. You hear that all the time. I mean, we hear that a lot, especially the Chick-fil-A.
Oh, you hear Chick-fil-A. My God, you hear. And I said this the last time I was up here. I'm not a huge fan of Chick-fil-A. But that don't mean you can't be.
Sure.
Okay? I just don't, every time I drive by, go in the parking lot and let me get you a chicken sandwich. I'm just not that guy. I just don't do that. But there's some people that really think Chick-fil-A is the greatest thing in the world.
Mm-hmm.
And
well, it's good. It's a great alternative, and they do good business, and it would be good for everybody. They'd make money, and the city'd be good. And
I will guarantee you one thing.
Mm-hmm.
Now, my wife is taking my mother to the doctor this morning.
Okay.
And I will bet you money they go by and eat lunch at Chick-fil-A today. And here's why I know that. Every time she takes her, they go by Chick-fil-A and eat lunch. Because my wife and my mom like Chick-fil-A. Well, my granddaughter loves Chick-fil-A.
We're taking the kids to the movies the other day, and we said, you guys want to stop and get something to eat? And they're like, Chick-fil-A. They want to, that's where we stopped today.
I mean, I don't mind eating, but I like a Diet Coke from Chick-fil-A every now and then, but that's about it. But, I don't... Clinton's on the move, and, hey, I know Friday I called up and said I didn't think the Dragons were going to win. I have to eat my words. Congratulations to the Dragons on a big victory.
Well-played game.
Well-played game. Maybe their best played game of the year.
Oh, absolutely. Their
by
best
far,
game.
defensively and offensively and statistically and everything else. It might not have burned up what they've done in the past, scoring all the points, but 20-some points, a shutout victory, and a big win for the Dragons. And, maybe it's something that puts them over the hump. Team they're playing that's coming up Friday night for homecoming is Powell, and Powell just got beat this Friday night by Jeff County.
Yeah,
by 2 or 3 points, something like that. So we'll see.
Well, that's why we tee it up to play it. We'll see what happens.
Maybe Clinton's got all their problems corrected. Maybe the coaching staff is finally. Well, we got to understand we got a very young head coach.
Sure.
And we've got a new coaching staff.
Yeah.
And maybe he's finally got a hold of the reins and got everything. He's figured it out.
Sure.
He didn't. There's no way he knew it all going in.
No, you learn as you go.
You learn as you go. That's why you get experience and then you become a head coach. But he did it in reverse. He's a head coach now getting experience.
Sure.
So I think, Friday night he had to go home Friday night and sit down in whatever kind of chair he sits in and have a sigh of relief and say, finally, we played a complete game.
I agree.
Finally.
I agree.
So I can see the hard work, and I'm sure it's been disappointing for him. But Clem played really well Friday night. I listened to Walt and Jim, and I listened to all of them, and they finally played a complete game.
I'm proud of it.
But now the University of Tennessee.
Holy cow. I don't know. Well, tell me. Well, first let me ask you this, officiating-wise. What do you think that bad calls, good calls, you think they were on the ball, what?
Well, there's always going to be good calls, bad calls, but I never really think that the officiating beats you.
Nope.
Officiating didn't fumble the ball. Officiating didn't
throw the interceptions.
Officiating didn't throw an interception. Officiating didn't have a delay of the game. You did.
Yeah.
Some things just, happen. Officiating in the SEC has not been very good this year. Not just with Tennessee, but everybody. I mean,
have you seen the way Kirby Smart claps now?
Everybody's complaining. Auburn is doing nothing but complaining. And, I'll be honest, Auburn's probably got some legits.
I believe they do.
Things I've seen with them. There's been some pass interference calls that I'm thinking, holy cow, what about the previous play?
Yeah.
Why wasn't that pass interference?
One guy be riding on another guy's shoulders, they don't call it, and the next one,
you just touch him.
Yeah, and he calls it.
So if you're going to call it on a touchy, why not call it on one they're riding him like a mule?
Yep, I agree.
I mean, so... I don't know. I just think maybe blaming it on officials sometimes the easy way out. But, Tennessee, I don't know. They didn't play well. They didn't play well offensively.
We didn't put ourselves in a position to win. You don't need to be throwing the ball from your own end zone in the first place. You don't need to be in those positions, They made mistakes, but they were in a bad position to make them.
We've got a running back over there that they're finally – We've done a 3-man rotation most of the year, and we're finally figuring it out that
Mr. Bishop,
that he's the man.
He is the man.
Why don't we let's run him till he can't run?
I'm like you. Why didn't we just line him up and punch that in?
Punch that in down there the other night.
I don't know.
Do we not have no faith in the offensive line? And in our clock management,
I agree.
Our clock management has been absolutely horrible.
I agree.
Come on, Josh Heupel, you got to do a better job.
I agree.
If you really went back and looked at from the start of the year till now, how many seconds have we let run off the clock that we've had ample timeouts?
Oh, I was screaming and hollering during the Arkansas and Mississippi State game.
I ain't going to say it'd be a whole quarter, but it'd be 4 or 5 minutes probably.
We've wasted a lot of time.
We've wasted a lot of time.
And I don't understand that either. And is that the head coach? Is that the offensive coordinator? Is it an argument between the two? I don't know who makes that final call.
Well, Josh Heupel's going to make the call on a timeout.
He should.
If you've got 50 seconds and something happens, and next thing you know, you've only got 11 seconds, and you got 3 timeouts.
Yeah, that was the stupidest thing I've ever seen.
Why not burn one of the timeouts?
I'm with you.
Why not burn one of the timeouts?
I was screaming and hollering like crazy at the TV. That was the Mississippi State game We did that. 3 timeouts, going into overtime, and ran that down and ended up taking Mississippi State to
Now, I told you before we come on the air, and if people could read my lips, they already know what I said. We got some folks. Don't count your chickens and put them in the coop yet. We got some tough games coming up.
Yeah.
Let's start Saturday with Kentucky. I don't care what their record is. They'll play us tougher than they played anybody all year long. And we still got Oklahoma on the schedule, which is a really good football team. Their quarterback is coming back for an injury, and looks like he's probably making his way back pretty good now.
Yeah.
We still got Oklahoma. We still got Florida. I don't care what Florida's record is. I don't care what
in the swamp.
It's in the swamp. That's all you got to know. What's our record down in Florida?
Not
it's probably
good.
Not much better than it is than going to Alabama. And then we're going to probably play. And boy, there's going to be some people mad at me for saying this. But then we got to play the best team in the state of Tennessee, Vanderbilt. Because it's hard to say. Vandy is probably better than Tennessee.
They're clicking. They're definitely
clicking.
Yeah.
They're a good football team.
They are a very good football team.
Don't let nobody think that they're not going to come up here and try to knock Tennessee off.
Do you think NIL money is who? Do you think that's what's turned Vanderbilt around?
Yeah, look at Texas Tech. All the money they spent this year, and what they're doing out there.
Yeah.
I mean, they took a program that wasn't nothing and been winning all year long. They might have got beat Saturday. I can't remember. But just think, there's a prime example. They got somebody stepped up with all this NIL money, and you're buying all this. You're buying it.
You're buying the team.
I would rather us go out and homegrown it. Like, let's recruit. Let's develop. Let's put them on. I think that's what we've done some with our wide receivers.
Yeah.
We've developed some of our wide receivers, and our wide receivers have really played well this year.
Yes, agreed.
They played pretty good. Could they play better at times? Sure.
Well, everybody makes mistakes.
Everybody makes mistakes. Sure.
Yeah. I'm like you. I'm worried. I'm definitely worried about Oklahoma. Oklahoma and Florida scare me more than Kentucky, and maybe even more than Vanderbilt. Even though Vanderbilt's playing probably better ball, I think we're in Vanderbilt's head. We beat them so much. And again, that could maybe work to their advantage. You know, they get up to play us.
They've got something that we don't have.
Momentum.
They've got a quarterback that doesn't think he can be beat.
Yeah, he's
I'm not saying our quarterback doesn't think that, but Vandy's quarterback.
Their quarterback is
just unbelievable.
Yeah, he is.
He wills that team to victory, and he does a really good job.
So you're worried about Oklahoma, Florida, Kentucky, and Vandy?
I'm worried about all 4 of them. Now listen, we would have done really well to have won if we win 3 or 4 of those.
Whew.
But
I don't.
What if we lose all 4 of them?
Oh, stop it, David.
What if we lose all 4 of them?
I'm not even going to talk about that. That's 6 losses. Jeez Louise. I don't even want to think about that. Because I can hear now calling for Heupel's head. And
think about something. Might be justified.
I don't know. I mean, we're in a whole new world with this NIL money, and I think that everybody's getting their feet under them, you know. And I felt like for a while, even though we were the first super deal, you know, Tennessee was, I think we kind of bucked the system and drug our feet, thinking more of Tennessee as a traditional school, you know, whereas some of these schools like Vanderbilt or Texas Tech didn't have nothing. Not that they didn't have all of the tradition and the pageantry, but they don't have anything like a Tennessee or an Alabama. So they didn't have anything to lose when they go in with NIL. I think we tried to hold on to some of our tradition. I just don't think we started out of the gun taking advantage of the NIL opportunities like everybody else did. That said,
so
now they got their feet under them. There's going to, you know, I don't know if there's any excuse.
We didn't take advantage of it. Why didn't we? Is it because we didn't have the money, or we didn't want to spend the money?
I think well, I don't know. I really don't. I'm not saying we necessarily didn't. I'm just saying I feel like we tried to hang on to tradition. We tried to convince kids to stay. We tried to get them to buy into the program instead of instead of paying them into the program. We continued to work on that level even when NIL was out there.
See, and I think that's what we've done too. And I think that's could that be what's hurting us?
Absolutely. And watch, they'll change gears. They'll have to.
So here's what I'd like to know, and we'll never know this, not unless we can find an inside source somewhere to tell us. What's Alabama? What do we think Alabama's doing right now? Do we think Alabama's spending a lot of money on NIL, or are they still recruiting and development and still getting all those five-star prospects down there? So what do you think?
Oh, I guarantee.
That you think they're doing a lot of NIL stuff, you think?
Oh, I guarantee they are, yeah.
You think they are?
Yeah, I believe they are.
See, and I think that's what Vanderbilt's done, too.
Absolutely.
Vanderbilt's done that. With their quarterback, he's won.
Well, do you think there's a more profitable, rich program in the whole world? I think Alabama, as far as college football, is the.
I think probably the richest football program in the country is probably going to be two, Texas and Ohio State. There's a lot of money at there, and I probably would throw Michigan in there too.
Yeah,
because it's up there, up north with Ohio State. But Texas is, would be a lot. I would probably throw Alabama in there.
It's just,
I would want to think, and then again, after you see what's going on, you think maybe not. I always thought Florida would be one of those teams that I would say was in the top 5 or 6 as far as money goes, and Tennessee to me would sort of be in the middle of the pack somewhere.
Yeah,
I would think Tennessee's a middle of the pack run. That how many people we got that's Tennessee alum or big Tennessee fans that are billionaires or millionaires or really wealthy, or we don't have the oil money. We don't have
Texas oil money.
We don't have Texas oil money, or we don't have stuff like that. So there was one guy, Texas Tech, one donor did it out there. One.
How much did he give?
Oh, it was bunch. Up in the 40 million or something like that.
Holy shnikes.
Yeah, holy shnikes is right. And it might even be more than that.
How much money?
I might be over just a little bit, but one guy did most of it.
Jeez.
I'm sure there were some other people coming along for the ride after he got it started, but one guy said, we're going to win. I'm tired of us losing. We're going to win. Now, will he do it again? Is he going to be able to maintain it and do it every year? I think that's $1 million question. We'll just have to wait and see. But,
Well, when you have a winning program, people want to come to it, even with or without NIL money.
I'm not for not paying the kids to play, but there's got to be some rules that go with paying people to play college football.
There needs to be.
You just ought to not be able to hold a transfer over a coach's head, and I think that's changing this year. And if it does, it'll taking care of itself. But you just, when the 12th game, bang, is final, transfer portal opens, and you can decide, well, I'm not going to play, but I'm going to go in the transfer portal. I'm looking for more money. And see, I don't know. I don't know that that's good for college football.
See,
that's what happened. That's what supposedly happened last year with Tennessee.
Yeah.
That's what got all this started with our quarterback. He wanted more. He said, or some of them said, wait a minute. You only paid us for 12 games last year. And now you're going to put maybe 2 or 3 more games on us? No, we want more money. And Tennessee said, no, it's for the season, and that's part of the season if you get in it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what got all that started.
I remember.
That's what got it ever been started. So, I don't know.
Well, I ask you, if Vanderbilt offers somebody $1 million to come and play, and Alabama offers them $500,000 to come and play, I think a whole lot of the pageantry and the program of being at Alabama has almost as much allure as the money.
As an athlete, I'm going to Alabama.
Exactly. That's my point.
I'm going to Alabama for the chance to play for a national championship.
Yep.
I think the odds of playing for a national championship at Alabama are better than the odds of playing for a national championship at Vanderbilt.
Exactly.
That's David, all right?
Yep.
You can say,
no, I'm with you. That's what I think.
I just think it's better at Alabama than it is at as it would be at Vandy. But now,
Well, see, I hearken back to what I said earlier. I think that Tennessee felt people would feel that way about coming to Tennessee, and therefore they didn't dive in as deep in the NIL mess as a lot of other people did. I think we will now. I think everybody will now because you have to. Your schools.
If you're not in the NIL stuff right now,
you're going to be left out.
You're going to be left out.
You're right. I agree completely, 100%. And people like Alabama, Tennessee, gosh, I don't know. Some of these more, I'm not going to say Florida, but maybe even Florida, they're coming, but they're coming kicking and screaming because it's taken away all the pageantry, all the tradition, all the, they come and they play for a season or maybe not even a whole season. Maybe they leave in the middle of it when the transfer portal opens. I don't know. Or they commit.
And something else that's sort of freaky here. What about some of these coaches that's got fired? Penn State coach.
They fired Florida this week, didn't they?
Have they fired him?
Yeah, they fired him.
Well,
they fired Florida this weekend.
Think about the Penn State coach. I don't care if I ever coached again or not. $50 million is what they owe him.
Wow.
$50 million.
You know what? You give me $50 million and I'll produce a winning team for them.
Yeah.
I guarantee it.
And Billy Napier's contract had a big buyout in it too.
Yeah.
It was in the upper 20s or something.
I wonder. They fired him this weekend. I hope I'm not talking crazy.
No, it wouldn't be crazy because they've been talking about firing him for basically since they kicked it off this year.
Really. Yeah, they've been saying he's on the
hot seat.
Yeah, hot seat for the whole time.
The whole time. I mean, these coaches, man, I'd like to know who's negotiating their contracts is doing a really good job. So I heard, what's his name? I can't think of his name. He coached at Texas forever. Brown.
Mike, no.
Can't remember his name. He said about buyouts and contracts, he said the most buyout I ever had in my contract was $2 to $3 million. I didn't believe in buyouts. I was hired to coach. If I signed a 4-year contract, I was hired to coach 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
If you fired me for that for not doing my job, then I didn't deserve to get no $40-50 million. $2 to $3 million.
Yeah.
Buyout. I had a reasonable buyout that you could fire me at any time if I wasn't doing my job. Mac Brown.
Yeah.
And I thought, wow, there's not many coaches that feel like you do today, Mac, because when they want their buyout, they're wanting enough to go out here. All you got to do really is have a couple winning seasons and get a couple big contracts, and you're set for life.
I don't know. It seems like it takes away the incentive to win. Give me $50 million, David. You probably won't see me again. I'll call you. I might fly you out to my island. But, I'm not going to be getting up at 5 o'clock every morning with $50 million. And I certainly wouldn't be getting up and coaching and dealing with kids like they have to deal with and the problems they have to deal with all those players. And
so we've been talking about college. Some of this other stuff, these transfers and stuff is going on, and TSSAA is fixing to change after this year, too.
Yeah, we got it in high school.
We got it in high school, and that's why it's all messed up. So these kids that hop from school to school to school to school to school, you're going to be able to hop one time. You transfer once, you can't transfer again. Oh, you can transfer, but you're going to set the second transfer. Probably for the whole year, you're going to have to set. So we've let it see. It's trickled down.
Mm-hmm.
It's trickled down into the high school ranks, and having all these kids that's played, whether they've played at wherever and went to wherever, and now they're at wherever. That's going to all stop. And all I can say, it's about time.
Well, me and you were talking Friday about Bryson Maddox. Yeah, he'd go anywhere.
Go anywhere we want it.
He'll have a good choice of colleges to go to, and I think we know some high schools tried to get him to come over there, and he decided he's going to stay where he was.
He basically said in an interview,
mm-hmm.
and I heard the interview,
mm-hmm.
I could have left Clinton this year,
mm-hmm.
but I chose to stay.
Yep.
And that said so much about that young man that, and I, as I said Friday, I don't really know him, but that said so much about him that I was already a fan just because of the way he caught the ball and things he was doing on the football field. You couldn't help but being a fan of his. But that just won me over being a Clinton guy. And I'm a Clinton guy.
Sure.
Okay? I don't have trouble rooting for Anderson County when they're playing anybody else. I don't have no trouble rooting for Oak Ridge when they're playing anybody else except for Clinton. And when they're playing Clinton, I'm for Clinton.
Sure.
I'm a Dragon. I didn't, I didn't graduate from wherever. I graduated from Clinton High School.
Yes, sir.
1976. I'm a Dragon, man. I'm a Clinton Dragon. I bleed orange and black. All right? I want Clinton to do well in every sport they play in over there. And I'm all about it. But I just got so much when Maddox said that just said, man, that young man's head screwed on right. And he's right. He could have won any. There's no telling who tried to get him to come play for him.
I just feel like, too, it's too early to start introducing these kids having to make decisions about schools and money. And, I mean, gosh, growing up, it wasn't even an option to go to a different school. And if you did, it was a pain in the neck. You needed to have a residence or, I wasn't
worried about where I was going to play baseball back in the 70s.
No.
I wasn't having to worry about that. I knew I was playing for Alvin Taylor and Gene Owens, and I was going to be a Dragon. I wasn't worried about, well, am I going to go up here? Am I going to go to Knoxville? Am I going to go to some private school down in Chattanooga? Listen, that didn't cross my mind.
Mm-mm.
I wanted to play for Alvin Taylor and Gene Owens at Clinton High School, and that's who I played for.
Yeah.
I didn't think about playing for whoever that's coaching Maryville at the time.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it was, back in the day, I know Jimmy Gaylor coached Maryville baseball for a little while.
Yep.
I wasn't worried about playing for Jimmy Gaylor at Maryville. I was playing for Alvin Taylor and Gene Owens, and that's who I wanted to play for. I wanted to wear the Dragon colors and be a Dragon, and that's what I done.
You think they'll get it under? You think TSSAA will get a tight enough grip on it?
No. No, they won't. They don't have enough people. First of all, they don't have enough people, and they'll talk a good game, but I don't think they'll get it under control. They ain't got stuff under control today. So what makes me think now? There's some people I know that's on the board that's going to try to get it under control, but you're only talking one or two people that's going to try to do the right thing. I know Jody Wright's on the board of control, and I know Jody's going to do the right thing, but he's one person.
Yeah.
And guess what? He's one vote. And one vote gets you nowhere.
No,
it absolutely gets you nowhere. Ask David. He can tell you all about one vote.
Okay. Well, and then what about, we've got the same thing with college. Do you think they're going to be able to reel it in and get some?
Too much money in college. Too much money floating around.
Do you think we'll get like
TV money, man? Listen, ESPN tells us what to do. Okay? ESPN tells the SEC how to act.
Yeah.
They tell us when to take a shower and when to go to the bathroom.
Well,
my personal opinion. David's opinion.
Well, they definitely have a tight rein on college football because they control a whole big chunk of the money.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. So they're as long as they're the ones footing the bill, they're going to be the ones making the rules.
Like that show that's on ESPN, the Pat McAfee show every day. He says, don't hold ESPN responsible for things I say and do, or the language that I use, because it's just the language is what people use every day, and don't hold WYSH responsible for what I just said. That's just what I think. ESPN controls they listen. They dictate the times when we play.
Yep.
They dictate what channel we're on. Mm-hmm. They dictate all of it. They dictate who the announcers are going to be. They dictate whether game day's coming or not. They just dictate so many things, and they're just fully in control.
Speaking of the announcers, did you catch the what was his name? Gene McAfoy, whatever.
Yeah.
Former quarterback for Alabama, wasn't he?
Which one? You talking about?
What's his name? That was one of the announcers for our game Saturday night. Tennessee game was former Alabama player. You could kind of tell it when he would talk about Tennessee's.
That always happens when you got an Alabama guy
in the booth.
Man. Yeah, I know who you're talking about. I can't think of his name. The guy that was the announcer, but yeah.
He had made a comment earlier in the week that he didn't think much of Joey Aguilera. Didn't think he was all that bag of chips. I thought, man, if you're going to be calling the game, be quiet. Herb Street say one thing about Kurt Herbstreit. If he's calling the game, he don't usually talk a whole lot about it. He don't talk a lot of smack about it. I notice a lot of times he's doing the Ohio State games because that's where he's from. He'll, he doesn't call any of them. He's calling. He doesn't predict, but he's usually pretty straight and level. But some of these other announcers are not. You can tell there's a lot of home cooking going on. I don't know that I could do it without home cooking either. You know what I mean? If I was a Vol, I don't know that I could, not be critical.
It'd be hard to not be critical.
Yeah.
It'd be hard to not be critical if you're up there and you played for Tennessee and you're doing the Tennessee-Alabama game and it's still a big rivalry to you too.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah, it's crazy this college football, and man, we ended up here. I don't even know that I even want to even go into this, but I'll just make one comment. What about our federal government right now? My God,
I don't know, buddy.
Here, I only got one thing to say, Ron.
Mm-hmm.
You can agree with me or disagree, and I don't care either way.
Okay.
We ought to, if we're not paying our military, we ought to not be paying our congressmen or senators.
Amen. I don't think that
ain't got nothing to do with being a Democrat or Republican. By golly, these people defended us and fought for this country. And if we're going to take away some of their stuff and because we're on a shutdown, shame on whoever. Shame.
I agree. I think they ought to put it in whatever the rules are, that if the government shuts down, the first people that lose the money is the people that aren't smart enough to keep it open.
Here's my second thing. Congress ought to be in Washington, D.C. right now.
Agreed.
Whether we're shut down or not, bud.
I agree.
They need to be in Washington. We didn't elect them. We didn't elect them to stay in, and Tim Burchett's who I use because he's a Knoxville guy. He's the closest one. We didn't elect Tim Burchett to stay in Knoxville most of the year.
Nope.
He's supposed to be in Washington, and I don't care if they don't do nothing but sit behind a desk up there. That's where they need to be. That's where their job's at. I know Burchett's job is in Knoxville a little bit. I know he has an office over there, but we need to be doing.
Ain't no sense in having a Tim Burchett if we ain't got a government open.
That's right. We don't need to save the money.
Or any of them. I agree with you.
If we're not going to pay our military, if we're not going to pay them, then we ought to not be paying our congressmen and senators.
I think that your military ought to be exempt from this kind of foolishness. And I think 100% all of your elected officials, and I'd say every single person that works for them. You want to stop government shutdown, take their money away when they do it. You'll never have another government shutdown from now to the end of time. If you took their salaries away when they shut the government down, they wouldn't be so quick to use us and federal workers and military people as pawns to get political stuff done. If they had to pay for it, guaranteed.
Take their salary away, take their health insurance away, and
take every bit of it away.
Take it all away.
If it's closed, it's closed.
It's closed. You ain't got nothing.
That's what I'm saying. If the government, you know what? If you walk up to Hammers tonight at 10:30 and it's closed, you don't get to go in and buy anything.
No, you don't get
and
to
if the government's closed, they ought not be giving those guys their checks. If it's closed, I mean, they are the government, for crying out loud. I'm with you 100% on that. I know that some of them aren't taking it. You know, I've heard a number of them say, I'm not taking a check while this is closed. I don't know what they're doing with it, but they're not.
I don't know how you can look a military family or a military person in the eyes and say, well, the government shut down. There's really nothing I can do about it. The Republicans that are, the Democrats done it, or the whoever's done it. No, they ought to be paid, man. That's just, I don't know how much. What is that? What are we telling our people that's out here defending us all across all across the countries, the world? What are we telling those people?
I'll tell you something.
Nothing. What kind of message are we sending?
I think that the Republican Party right now is playing a hand, and I don't know where it's going to end them. I think they feel like that the Democrats are blowing in the wind right now. They're having a really rough time finding themselves because they've got a fringe over here that's real loud. Then they've got some people like the senator from Pennsylvania that's relatively conservative. But they're kind of all over the map, and I think Republicans see this as an opportunity right now. Kick them when they're down, or when they're weak, beat them. And the Democrats just don't have the horsepower to get what they want put in this right now, and the Republicans know it. So they're not, I don't think Republicans are going to give in and start negotiating health care and all these other things that they want to negotiate just to keep the government open, because they know that, it's hurting Republicans and it's hurting people, but it's hurting the Democrats, their party, their brand, I think, worse than it's hurting the Republicans' party and brand right now. That's just my perspective. I don't know. You go out to another part of the country, it might be different. But
in the flip side, this could come back to bite the Republicans.
Absolutely.
Could come back and bite them.
It always has.
It's either side here.
Yeah.
I think what the problem is, and some with the Democrats right now, is we've got this crazy race, and I say crazy because I really don't know nothing about it. I know nothing about the guy that's running for mayor in New York City. Okay? I know he has made some, I don't know if the right word to say radical comments, or he just made some off-the-cuff comments that, to me, just don't sound feasible.
Mm-hmm.
Like free groceries and free transportation and housing and stuff like that. My God, what a damn thing to run on.
Free everything.
You didn't hear me say anything about free stuff today at Food City, did you?
No.
But if I did,
if you did, you'd win.
Yeah, if you did, you win. So I think that's some things the Democrats are having to fight this guy right now, and they don't know what to do with him.
Yeah, they don't know. They don't know whether to get on board and support him, or they don't know whether to.
Listen, when you two top Democrat people are from New York City, and they've not endorsed him yet,
mm-hmm.
What does that have to say? What does that say? What's that say?
Well,
are you afraid of him?
They are afraid of him. They're deathly afraid of him. Not that they feel like he's going to rise up and be some great leader. I think they're afraid, A, he's going to win, and the Republicans are going to say, there you go, they've elected a self-proclaimed communist, socialist. He says socialist, but I mean, he's going to take, if you make 100,000, I make 50, he's going to take part of yours and give to me so that we both have 75.
He's going to win.
Well, I think you're right, but I think the Democrats are staying quiet because they're worried about being saddled with it. Well, if he does win, they're going to say, well, it ain't because of us. We didn't endorse him.
I think they're going to be saddled with it, whether they won't be saddled with it or not. I mean, just to be honest with you, I think he's going to win, and I think he's going to win overwhelmingly.
Well, it looks like it. Somebody told me, I read the other day, or somebody told me the other day, that he will probably win with 400,000 votes. That's all that they'll get up there. City of 13 million people. So it's not like, in a mayoral race. They've done more, but it's not like, I guess they have big turnouts for that. I don't know. But 400,000 people are going to decide to fade 13 million. You'd think more than that to get out and vote. But
I just think our people ought to be in Washington doing whatever if they're getting paid, they ought to be doing their job right now.
I agree.
Up there, whether you can say, well, there's nothing to do. Well, yeah, they can shuffle papers. They can clean their office up. They can do whatever. I'm sure there's plenty of paperwork for them to do to get caught up on, return phone calls that they don't never return anyway. Half of them don't return your phone call. They can return your phone. If they're getting paid, they can do something.
Mm-hmm.
They can return your phone call and talk to you for 2 or 3 minutes. They can get 15, 20, 30 of them a day and get them returned. And eventually they get that backlog down to where it ain't nothing if we're going to be out for a while. Because
mm-hmm.
I say this is going to be a long one. I don't know whether it is or not, but I just think it's a shame we're not paying our military people, and we should be paying our military people.
100% agree with you and feel like that needs to be exempted. But that would just make it easier to close it down the next time if they're going to exempt the military. I really do think there needs to be penalties. When you was a police officer, if you didn't do your job, you got reprimanded.
Yep.
And it didn't necessarily matter why. Even if it was an accident, you still got reprimanded, maybe trained how to do it right next time or whatever. But you didn't just say, okay, and then next time make the same mistake again. I think if these guys, if they can't run the government, which is the only thing we've sent them there to do. We didn't send them there for anything else. We sent them there to go take our ideas and implement them to run the government. And if they can't do that, I don't know why any citizen of the United States feels like it's okay to keep paying them to do it. And I also feel like there needs to be severe penalty. If you can't or won't do your job, then there needs to be some kind of severe penalty.
And it ought to be real easy to beat them when you go to when you run against them because they're not doing their job.
I think so.
It ought to not be blame it on somebody else. They won't let me do it. No, you're not doing your job.
Absolutely.
You're not doing your job, so it ought to make it a little bit easier to run against them too. But apparently, once you get in there, man, it's really hard to get them out. I mean, I don't care who it is. You look on both sides. There's people on both sides that's been there forever. I mean, look at poor old Mitch McConnell.
Yeah.
He's walking down the hallway the other day, and God bless his soul, I've been there. I fell not recently, but I have fell here in the last couple of years. I know how it is to go down just unexpectedly.
Sure.
And there he is. I mean, he's walking the hallways, and man, he doesn't need to be up there. We know he don't need to be up there.
No.
And I know he's not running again, and I hope he's able to get through his term and everything's okay. But you just have to you just think, man, you stayed too long.
Yeah, I agree.
You stayed too long. You stayed a day too long.
You know, I wonder with people like that, you know, I don't know if I'll ever get to retire or not. I really don't. But, you know, you do all this stuff, work hard and do these things and make a difference, whatever. But then there comes a time when you put in all your time, you want to go do something else, you know? I can't imagine being 80 years old or 83 years old and saying, you know, I think I want to sign up for another 4 years of work. You know, no, you're going to find me on the beach somewhere, you know, or you're going to find me in the mountains or.
That's what I'm saying. You know, I don't know good to say something about.
You know what it makes me think? It makes me feel like it ain't really that tough of a job. I know that sounds ageist, and I'm not meaning to be, because I know a lot of it is their intellect and what they think. But at the same time, I mean, there just comes a point in time. We all reach it, whether you're an athlete. There comes a point in time, you're done, you know? It's just the way that we're made. And there comes a point in time, you know, I don't care if you're Elon Musk, there's going to come a point in time when he's exhausted all the things that he wants to do. That you know, there's going to come a point. And politicians seem to think that there is no end game. You know, they're like, I'm going to stay till I die. And a lot of them do. And people keep putting them in there. I don't know why.
Well, I'll tell you why. We allow it.
Yeah,
we do, because we won't vote for whether it's term limits, whether you believe in term limits or not. We won't vote for it to have term limits. And then there's so many people who don't.
Well, they got to put it on the ballot.
They got to put it on the ballot. And they're never going to put it on. Would you put your job on the ballot?
That's what I'm saying. You know, you and I believe this too, David. I believe that we have sent a lot of good people to Washington, a lot of good people. But I believe when you're up there for a while, even the best of the best of the best, when you're up there living in that bubble, if you live inside of that bubble for long enough, I think you become part of it. You know what I mean? You kind of lose your way. And so I don't know. I think people go, if they stay too long, it ruins them. It changes who they are. Even if they went with the full great intentions, you know, absolute power corrupts absolutely. Yeah. I've seen it too many times. These people, you know, they get up there and.
So the longest I've ever been at the beach is 3 weeks.
3 weeks I've never been 3 weeks.
I've been 3 weeks. I got fortunate enough. Pod had some relatives that had a condo down in Orange Beach, and we got to stay for 3 weeks. And I can tell you, after about 3 weeks, I pretty much was
ready to come home.
Not necessarily. I pretty much was becoming a beach person. I could see myself. I can imagine myself living that life.
Yeah.
You know, it didn't take but 3 weeks.
Yeah.
To do that. So, you know, saying, you know, actually, to piggyback off what you just said about going to Washington, just think about this, Ron. When you come home to Clinton, you're not catered by nobody.
No.
Sure, if you go in Hoskins, where's Congressman Meredith?
Mm-hmm.
He's back. Let's go shake his hand.
Mm-hmm.
But when you go to Washington, D.C., you got somebody calling you every day wanting to do something for you,
mm-hmm.
take you out to eat, do something for you, do this for you, send you here,
Yep.
go on this trip. You're catered to. You're made feel like a
mm-hmm.
whatever. But when you come back home to Clinton, you're just poor old Congressman Meredith that's walked into Hoskins to get a breakfast this morning and see everybody, or to walk in wherever, or to go up and be on Ron Meredith's Ask Your Neighbor and talk some politics for a few minutes, and then you go home and you're just back to being poor old Congressman Meredith again. But when you go back to Washington, you're it.
It's intoxicating.
It's intoxicating. You're the man.
Yeah.
You are the man. So I see your point. That's my point about the beach. It don't take long after you've been to the beach for a while. You start
you're ready to
feel like part of you. And you say, because I always used to say, nah, this sand would get old. Having this sand everywhere would get old. Well, listen, it doesn't get old.
No.
They make brooms and
vacuum cleaners.
And, you can be a little neater and not track it in, and maybe as you get a little older, you get a little better at some of that stuff, and that was in my older age, and I thought, Lord have mercy, after the first week or the second, I can see me doing it. I can see me doing it.
I don't understand these guys that go and they get up there and they I don't know, I just, you think back, kids, grandkids, what else do they have in their life that they could be doing that had, to give them meaning? Or what do they not have in their life to give them meaning that they have to keep holding on to this power, in Washington? I don't know.
I care too much about my kids and grandkids to be away from them that long.
I couldn't.
I mean, and you say, well, you went to the beach for 3 weeks. Yeah, I did, but my kids and grandkids were there
part of the time.
One of them was 1 week, one of them was the next, and then we had the last week by ourselves. So they were there, so it wasn't like I was without them. So I just couldn't see. I'm a family guy when it comes to that, but
I don't like traveling. Tracy and I are not the kind of married couple that we do a guy's night out or a girl's night out, or she goes on vacation, I go on. We do everything like that together.
That's the way me and my wife, we've been that way for 40 plus years, and until I die, that's the way we'll continue to do it. I like to go places with her, and she likes to go places with me, and
I wouldn't want to be gone for any length of time.
Too much.
She is the boss, right?
She is the boss, by golly.
I wanted to get that on record for her here.
I'm smart enough to be able to say that. That's one thing for sure.
All right, guys. Well, you heard David. He's kicked off his 2026 campaign with Magnet Mills, Chick-fil-A, and Ingalls. Have I missed anything?
No.
Are you sure?
Miss nothing, buddy.
You sure?
No, I'm going to ask. I mean, it's probably no, but I'm going to ask. Let's make a phone call and just see what they say. Can we make a phone call? And it's all we done on the traffic signal. It's time it worked. So let's see if we can be 2 for 2 or get lucky and maybe say, hey, we've got some things in the work. Wouldn't that be nice if I come back up here in a month and said, hey, Ron.
Oh, Lord.
Magnet Mills is going to be sold.
Yeah, that'd be fantastic.
They said it's going to be sold here in the next 30 days.
Yeah, that'd be fantastic.
I don't know what they're building over there, but it's changing hands. That would be exciting news.
Oh, it'd be great news. I'm telling you, that is a piece of property that if somebody could really take and do something with, it's got everything you need for a perfect place for retail and or, living space. It's pretty cool.
I'd like to know.
Walking to downtown.
Yeah. I'd like to know what it actually is worth.
Well, I guess the only way you could do that is comping pieces of property that's sold like that,
Yeah, but is there any around
I don't
here
think so.
It's like that. So that's your next problem.
You'd have to go to somewhere.
I'd like to know just what's it worth.
Well, ask Mayor Burton. Like I said, he's in the real estate business. He might know where to look to know what it's worth. It's worth a lot of money. I don't think it's worth $5 million, but it's worth a lot of money. I don't know what it's worth today. I remember a point in time when you could have bought it for $200,000. I remember being asked to buy it for $236,000. I remember Ray Viles, when he had the dealership down here, looked at buying it for about that much money and building the Ford store before he built down the interstate. Looked at buying it and putting the Ford store up there.
What a great place for the car lot.
It would have been fantastic.
Wow, you talk about right there.
It was under $250,000. I remember, but
at the time there would have been a lot of work to have been done because you'd had to tear everything down and do a lot of demolition. Now all the demolition work's done except for the one big metal building.
Metal building, and the other concern to the people back then was the brownfield, worrying what was under there. If you got in there and there was something bad under there, then you just bought a piece of property you can't use. or millions and millions of dollars in reclamation of the property. That was the holdback back then. But now, I mean, that's still probably going to be of some concern, but you can run tests or whatever you needed to do. But we'll see. But I remember back in the day when it was, $250,000 for that piece of property. And I think the last I looked, the last I knew, it was about 2.3 or 2.4 million. Are they up to asking $5 million now, or are you just throwing that number out?
I just threw that number.
Okay, yeah, I thought we were about half that.
I don't have any idea. Okay.
Last I remember, I think they got an offer of about 1.6, and they were at about 2.4 or 2.5, and I think that they got an offer closer. I think they got an offer closer to the 2 million mark at 1.2, and I'll tell you this: I remember a point in time when I was doing that, I felt like if I could get Mr. Comer, David Comer, involved and see what the city was doing, that he would be a little more amenable to work with people. And so we started inviting him to these meetings and trying to get him, and just come to find he just didn't have any intention of wanting to broker that deal. He wasn't the owner, but he spoke for the owner, and he just didn't. For whatever his reasons were, he just didn't want to see it sold. But that said, I can recall a deal, a time that people came, they made an offer, and they said, okay. And then as they were working the deal to try and put dot the I's and cross the T's, they went up $1 million on the land. even after they'd said they'd agree to a price. And I think we dealt with that more than one time, where they'd get somebody on a hook and then try and raise the price a little bit. But again, the people, the regime that was dealing with it then is not the same people now.
See, that's some things you've heard. That's some stories that you've heard, and you wonder, hell, is it still going on today?
Maybe. I mean, it was we were right. You can talk to Wimp. He can tell you firsthand too. He was right in the middle of it too. We were right in the middle of that, and I don't know how much I'm supposed to say and not say. It's been 20 years, so I guess I can talk. But I mean, when the bottling company, when Chattanooga folks come up looking at it, they were serious as a heart attack. And I think I'm okay in telling you that they made an offer on a property that was agreed to until they started putting everything down, and they raised the price on them. And not that they didn't have the money. I think it was more the integrity issue. They just said, I don't want to deal with folks like this. And I think it hurt us. It hurt a lot of folks that they were, and I understand wanting to get as much as you can get out of your property. I don't begrudge anybody
it's
that.
It's like they didn't want to sell the property.
It's and evidently still don't, because there's people interested. I think if given I don't know if he would today, but I can take you back 5 years, 6 years, Joe Heigsworth would have bought it. He wanted to buy it. Joe made an offer on it. And they wanted more. He told them what it was worth. And I think Joe wants to buy low. Everybody does, but he's got a pretty good handle on what property's worth.
Yeah, I'd heard that he had been interested in it.
He was.
I think he's the most recent.
Yep.
That we know of.
And he might, Joe might still be, because it would work, man alive, if the things that were talked about ever could come to fruition, and there'd be a walking bridge across there, and you connect that dog park and Joe's Aspire back to Magnet Mills, back behind the co-op, that walking trail come all the way up through there. Man alive, that would be just, you don't get much better amenities than that. If you could live there, work there, shop there, walk across the bridge to the dog park, and walk a few more little bit, and you're at Aspire Park, and come back, and there's restaurants and downtown and all that. It's coming slowly but surely. But Magnet Mills is like a centerpiece. Could be. It's not today, but if developed right, man, it could be a centerpiece for the whole city. Good luck.
Could kick it out. It could be the one that kicks it all off.
Well, you guys have already kicked it off. You're doing it. You know what I mean? The stuff that we're doing on Market Street, Main Street, even go back to the light poles that we put on Market Street years ago, downtown by the bridge, by the Green Bridge, all that, that downtown water area, all that. So, City of Clinton's doing it. We're doing it. But, man, if you had that as a calling card, if you had something, an anchor, as they say, right there on the water, it'd be even better.
Be nice to have a restaurant right there.
Boy, wouldn't it?
Or whatever. I mean, whether it's a restaurant and some condos, or whether it was some small businesses for shopping, or just another draw to get you to come downtown. Because you're right, it's all really within a block over here and a block there. You're walking, and people are into that today, to walk wherever,
sure,
do a little sightseeing. So if you really look at that piece of property from there to Market Street, you're only talking a couple blocks.
Oh yeah, no, it would be fantastic. So
we're pretty dog friendly around here. I mean, like you said, just it seems like everybody has a dog now.
I've got 3.
And if you don't have one, you can rent one.
Yeah, you can. If you need one, you can rent one.
You can rent one. Just rent you a dog for the weekend. What are you doing? Oh, I'm renting me a dog. I'm going to rent the dog this weekend.
Testing it out.
Testing it out, see if I want one.
Yeah.
I'd love to have another one. I really would. I miss my dog every day.
You get too attached?
I got I just hate going through all them puppy dog stages and going through all that stuff again.
I'm going through puppy dog right now with Peanut. It loves to eat, chew things. Oh my Lord. Man,
we had a black lab, and she was awesome. But when you get a dog, you got to watch. It ties you down a little bit too.
Oh, it ties you down a lot.
There's some responsibilities that goes along with having a dog. You got to take care of them too. You can't just turn them out and let them run wildly in the neighborhoods. You got to maintain them a little bit. So,
well, my wife loves animals, and since we've been married, we've had a pig. Yep, we had a pig. We've got a cat, and now Emma is. I only have Emma half the time, 50-50. But when I have Emma, I've got 3 dogs. I've got Emma, Peanut, and Zoe. So. We are definitely a dog-friendly family, and I'm glad we're a dog-friendly town. But obligations, when we go on vacation, you know what I mean?
Finding somebody to keep them all. Well, you got to take them with you.
I took them all this time. Well, on fall break, I took all 3 dogs and the cat. So you load up with 3 teenagers or 4 teenagers, 3 dogs and a cat, you're in for an adventure, I can tell you. I've been there, done that.
You need a box truck.
But I've got that Navigator. It's about as big as a box truck, thank God, because otherwise we wouldn't be going. You're right. It's an obligation.
Box truck to haul everything.
You're definitely obligated when you have them, and you better have a way to deal with them. So,
hey man, I appreciate you letting me come up again and talk. And
I enjoy it. Me and you, look, it's noon, and I didn't even look up and notice what time it was.
Well, we just got horsing around talking about different things, and I'm excited about what's going on in Clinton, and I hope everybody else is. And I just want to throw it out again.
Queener for Council 2026.
I guess, man. But anyway, to the businesses down on Market Street, hang in there. There's a lot. You can see the light really well right now, I think, if you just start looking around.
I was surprised at how much wider it looks down there from up top, how much wider the...
I think it's... And I say this because I believe this is what I've been told. I think it's really going to be nice when it's all said and done. I think it'll be more... handicap accessible friendly.
Mm-hmm.
Be easier to walk. It'd be easier to get to motivate up and down Market Street, and it'll be a little wider. Sure, they're going to lose just a few parking places, but I think we've been working to try to get some of those back, try to get as many of them back as we can to still have on-street parking.
Yeah.
So we're doing that. So I think it's going to be all right. We'll see.
It's going to be. I'm sure it's going to be all right. I think it's going to be better than all right.
I need to get Kelly Johnson up here. I'd like to hear her take right now on all this federal stuff. What all these federal funds and them. I don't know what they've lost or what. I've not heard her say. In fact, I've not talked to her recently, and I need to. I'll try to get Kelly to come up with me next time, and we'll talk a little bit Clinton schools. They were just designated to level 5 again this year. That's a top honor. That's one of the top honors.
And they didn't have to change any grades to get it.
Yeah, they didn't have to change any grades to get it.
I'm sorry.
We almost made it a whole 2 hours without talking about that. I'm surprised we didn't. We have talked about Darn. Well, it really it's not been in the news.
Just
sort of went away.
It has went away.
It just went away, ain't it?
It has.
It has. It just went away.
Okay.
Maybe that's the way it was supposed to be. I don't know. But I'll try to get her to come up and give us the state of Clinton City schools and talk about the Clinton City schools, what's going on, and what she sees in the future. And but I'll get her up here. I always enjoyed coming with her when me and her would come, as me being on the school board. But I'll get her up and we'll talk about Clinton City schools. She's still running a tight ship down there, and we're still churning them out, buddy.
I know.
She's churning them out. She's a good one.
She absolutely is, and you're not going to find a better elementary school system in the country. I believe that wholeheartedly. Or if you might find one with a little bit more money, nicer buildings or such, but you're not going to find better teachers.
I second that motion wholeheartedly, and would have no problem doing that. She runs a tight ship, and she's got some really good teachers and administrators, and she does a good job. So
we done?
We're done, buddy. I'll see you next month.
I'll see you next. Well, I'm sure I'll talk to you before then.
I'm sure we'll talk between now and then. Maybe once or twice. I'll try to call in on Friday and give a prediction of a bad score or something.
Now, I'm worried about Friday night just because Powell. I know they lost, but Powell, they're going to be mad. They lost.
Yeah, they are going to be mad. You got that right.
And it's homecoming. It's going to give them more incentive.
A lot of coaches don't like to be a homecoming game. They feel disrespected if they're a good program about being a homecoming game.
Well, again, it gives them more incentive to want to win on our homecoming, just to pee in our cornflakes. But and they're a good ball club, so I'm worried about that.
Yep.
Not as worried as you are about Kentucky. I think I'm
worried about Kentucky just a little bit.
I'm more worried about Florida, Vanderbilt, Oklahoma than I am Kentucky.
I think it'll be a tougher game than what we think. But
my number one worry is Oklahoma. Probably my number 2 is Vanderbilt, 3 is Florida, and 4 is Kentucky. That's as we got left. So we'll see how that works.
We'll see how it rolls out, man.
I know I'm going to get hollered at for not taking calls, but it's 5 minutes after noon.
Yeah, let's roll. We're out of here.
All right, David, we're out of here. See you guys. Have a great one. Bye.
It's our grand opening at Rusty Wallace Hyundai, and we're celebrating our new facility all month long. This month, you can get up to $7,000 off new Hyundais. This month, you can get up to $7,000 off a new 2024 Hyundai. Yes, that's right, up to $7,000 off a Rusty Wallace Hyundai. And remember, all new vehicles come with America's Best warranty of 10 years, 100,000 miles, and 3 years free maintenance. So come celebrate our grand opening at Rusty Wallace Hyundai, where it's always a fun day. Visit us online at rustywallacehyundai.com. See you for the days.
When you need it in print, call C&D Desktop Publishing and Printing, 865-457-4264. Business cards, brochures, White House diagrams, specialty items, or anything you need to have printed. C&D Printing can take care of it. Make your business look good. Make your event flyers look great. Make the call to C&D Desktop Publishing and Printing, 865-457-4264. Located at 345 South Charles Evers Boulevard next to McDonald's. C&D Desktop Publishing and Printing.
Here's Darla, co-owner of H&H Body Shop, on what she likes about her job.
Well, we get to help people, and we get to help people through a rough time in their life because everybody don't have a wreck every day. And when they do, they're a lot of times distraught, don't know where to go, don't know what to do. So just helping them get into the process and get through the process.
The days of going from body shop to get estimates are gone. You guys can handle everything for your customers, right?
Yeah, we'll get the car towed here. If it's not non-drivable, then we have their rental car scheduled for when they get here. We try to fix your car like it was our own.
H&H Body Shop, North Main Street in Clinton. Call 865-457-9734. 865-457-9734. H&H Body Shop. There since 1960. There when you need them.
Thank you for listening to AM 1380 WYSH and Ask Your Neighbor. Make sure you tune in at 10 a.m. each day, Monday through Friday, right here on AM 1380 WYSH and